Hi, and welcome to Session 2 on book flyers. Today we're going to be discussing two different applications that you can use in order to make your book flyers. As you can see, the first application we're going to be talking about is Canva. Many of you may have a subscription to Canva or have used it in the past. I'm going to show you some quick tricks to use it to make fun and engaging book flyers. As you can see, I use Canva quite a lot. These are just a few of the flyers and invitations that I have made throughout the year. Let's go and click on one of the first book flyers. Here's the book flyer that we talked about last week. I'm going to add another page right up here on the duplicate page. There's another way that you can also go to the bottom and hit add page if you'd rather that. Over here, there are so many different templates that you can use. They have preset images and themes depending on what you're looking for or what book you want to pick. I'm going to go with The Giver like we did yesterday. So, The Giver has a black cover and a white man on it. This is a great option, however, I don't like the people in the background. I'm going to change it to, let's see, they have so many different options. Let's go with just a blank and use a color. Let's get rid of the name. Now, you can go in and add elements. These are all of the recently used ones. So banners, hearts, backgrounds, bows. You can even make fun tie-dye. There are so many options. You can also upload images from the websites or your computer. As you can see, these are other books that I've made book flyers for. You can also add text. You can use these recent combinations, or you can add your own. There are so many different fonts to choose from. You can really make sure that your book flyer pops in every way possible. One of my favorite aspects of Canva is that you can import a picture and then use the exact colors from that picture in your design. Right here, I'm going to add the cover of The Giver. Put it up in the corner, and I'm going to make it big so that people know what book I'm talking about. Let's get rid of this. Now I can go into the background, and as you can see, it has gone through and found all of the colors that are used in that image, and I can pick and choose from them. This matches the background perfectly, and now I can use white words and try and get the same font if I want to. Now, for the text. We're first going to add The Giver by Lois Lowry. I'm going to put this up at the top, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Then I'm going to go through and find a font that I like. Now remember, you want to make sure that the font is easily read. This one isn't bad, but it's a little bit too scripted. This one has to be one of my favorite fonts. It gives just enough, and it's called Hey, Gotcha. All right, now for a quote. Now, when finding a quote, you want to make sure that you don't pick an insanely large quote. You want just enough information without overdoing it. I've picked one of my favorite quotes. Let's change the font. And that's another nice thing that you can do, is you can copy and paste so easily. Resize. I'm going to put this right under the author and title of the book and even it out. As you can see, it's so easy to play around with everything. I'm going to change the color to one of these colors from the book. All right, I think that looks great. Finally, I think the only thing we need is a little blurb about what this book is about. Now, without going into too much detail or giving away any surprises that this book may have to offer, I have put together a small little quote of what this book is about. And that is huge. So, The Giver by Lois Lowry is about Jonas, a boy named Jonas, who lives in a society free of crime and sadness. At the age of 12, children are assigned their jobs, which they will train for and do for the rest of their lives. Everything is chosen, from your parents to your partner. All right, and I think this goes really well with the quote that I have above. I'm going to change this font. Something like this. This. And I'm going to change the color. Let's do pop. All right, and here you have a fun flyer for the book The Giver. Now that I've showed you Canva, we're going to talk about Google Slides. I'm sure many of you have used Google Slides, but here are just a few tricks that I like to use when using Google Slides to make a flyer. As you can see, this is another well-used account. I use it all the time and am constantly adding flyers and presentations. Let's start off with a blank one. With this one, I like to use their preset themes. I think it's an easy way to get a fun color or a background image that you wouldn't normally see. Let's see. I like this pop of color one. Let's do this. Now, my first thing that I like to do is get rid of all of the text boxes. We don't need them just yet, and I like to see what the blank background is. Okay, I'm going to see if I can change some of these colors now. So I'm going to change the pop to this pink, and done. I think I like this one a little bit better than the yellow. Now, I picked this background before I actually picked a book, which was silly of me. The book that I chose is something that I actually just finished reading. It's called Everything, Everything. It actually doesn't look bad with these colors, so I'm actually going to leave it. Alright, now, switch things up. I'm actually going to move it to this side. And now for the text. Again, the first thing that you want is the title. And author. Now to resize and play around. I think it's so fun to be able to be this creative after reading a book. You really get to play around and just have fun. I actually find it very relaxing. Alright. This is awesome. Now, for the quote and the blurb. I'm going to pick actually one of my favorite quotes from the book. I am not a princess and I don't need rescuing. I love that quote. Now, I'm going to undo. Alright, now I'm going to, again, change the font. One thing I like about Canva better is that there are more font choices, and it's kind of easier to use. Make this a little bit bigger. Alright, and now I'm going to add actually some pictures. Insert image, search the web. So I want to add something princessy next to that quote. Let's add a fun little crown. And insert. I like using this as opposed to going on to Google and just finding an image. I think it works a little bit easier. Twist it. And there we go. Alright, and finally just a little blurb about what this book is about. Alright, now for the blurb. Madeline does not go outside due to her illness. And she is very content with her life. ... That is until she meets Ollie. I like adding sort of a cliffhanger. Something that really makes you want to read the book. Alright, and there you go. Here's another easy and fun flyer. Now, based on the books that you guys chose yesterday, or if you'd like to pick a different one, you're going to use an application of your choice. Now, it can be Canva or Google Slides, or if you have another one in mind that you like using, please feel free to use that. Start working on your own book flyer. I'll be walking around the room and see if you need any help. Please feel free to ask any questions that you may have. Alright, thank you guys so much for coming to this second session. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at dlargent@buffalo.edu. I look forward to seeing you all on the 23rd for our final session. Make sure to work real hard on your book flyers. I really am looking forward to seeing them all and what you've created. Thank you.